So just recently, a few friends and I picked up hiking as a hobby, and they left me with the job of looking for places to hike. So I did some research and I stumbled upon the words, the most dangerous hiking trail, Mount Huashan. So this got me interested, so I did some research over 2 weeks, and I found it to be really interesting. Even if you guys don't go hiking or sightseeing, I want to make it so you guys see how intense and fascinating Mount Huashan really is. Today I'd like to introduce you to the interesting aspects of Mount Huashan. What makes the hiking trail so interesting is that it has many different challenging pathways. It has danger that goes along with it, and it has a lot of good views and sights to see. First, let me talk about the different challenging pathways Mount Huashan has. It's located in China and it has 5 peaks. According to ssqq.com, which is a site that has stories from adventurers and hikers of certain locations like Mount Huashan. And they say if you plan on going up the west or south peak of Mount Huashan's hiking trail, you'll have to go past the Heavenly Stairs. This is just a small part, This is just a small part of the Heavenly Stairs. This goes on even further. And the creator of ssqq.com, Rick Archer, even jokes around saying, maybe it's because if you fall off, you go to heaven. Explaining the name. Alright, after the Heavenly Stairs, you get to a gondola point, which is a series of cable cars to make traveling easier. And you get to choose between going up the south or west peak. For this instance, we'll go over the south peak because it's more interesting, it's more unique. Stated by ssqq.com, the south peak is the highest peak out of all 5, and it towers over the rest by being a total of 2,160 meters high. The south peak is unique not only because of its height, but after the gondola point, you're faced with vertical wall staircases. Yeah. These vertical wall staircases, or more accurately ladders, go up 20 meters high up. Yeah. Further into the hike, you'll end up against a vertical wall, narrow ladder of metal bars that go down 13 feet, which leads you to one of the main attractions or interesting aspects, the plank rope, which is this. I guess the video won't play. Well, basically I had a video of someone going past, going through the plank road back up the metal bars. And it was, you could see like the whole view of the mountains and how dangerous it is. Even though there are, I don't see if you can see it. You can see this chain right here. This chain is just for the safety line, so you could hook up yourself just in case. You could lean up against it, so you wouldn't actually have to fall off. Next, I'd like to elaborate on all of these dangers. As you can see with all those pictures, there's always danger involved, and why the danger makes it fascinating and exciting to some people. If you don't know, our body has adrenal glands which release hormones and adrenaline that make your body function even more alert when you're faced with danger. It's the whole thing of fight or flight response. So the fight or flight response is associated with adrenaline as you anticipate danger, preparing your body to fight or run. Josh Clark, an article author of HowStuffWorks.com, relates adrenaline with body functions, saying that when adrenaline is released by the adrenal medulla in an internal region in the adrenal glands, it allows blood to flow more easily through your muscles, which means more oxygen gets through, and it allows your muscles to function at elevated levels. Another quote from Neil Neimark, a medical doctor, explains that when activated, the fight or flight response causes a surge of energy, of adrenaline, and other stress hormones to pump through your body. This intake basically gives your whole body a rush, making it exciting, and this is what some thrill seekers look for when they go out. Some of these thrill seekers, like bungee jumpers, climbers, and in this case hikers, get this rush through the fear of falling. Adrenaline rushes are just a part of the natural defense in our body goes through, but Mount Huashan and its dangerous paths are ways to trigger these adrenal rushes, making it more exciting. Finally, if you guys don't want to go up the South Peak, it's too dangerous for you, there are still 4 other peaks to go up. And according to TravelChinaGuide.com, the East Peak is known for its wonderful sunrises. The West Peak is known for its decor and its Lotus Mountain. And the Central Peak is known for its legend of the Taoist Temple. The North Peak is known for its flat terrace in the cloud. Aside from the East having nice sunrise views, it also has a pavilion where you can just relax and play chess right here. You can see. Yeah. And you can enjoy the scenic route known as the Immortal Palms Peak, which is a series of rock veins. Next is the West Peak. It's known for being decorative, and you can see by the rails it is decorated. And in the back, it's supposedly to look like a lotus flower, as you can see by the mountains. The next peak is the Middle Peak, and it's just the story of its Taoist temple is that I don't have a picture. The next peak is that there's a princess who ran away from royalty just to be with her love. And then the North Peak is known for its Cloud Terrace, and hence the nickname Cloud Terrace Peak. As you can see now, Mount Haoshan'an has multiple aspects that make it interesting and wonderful. It holds many challenges and different pathways for you to enjoy, which are sought out by some, giving you that adrenaline rush. And also, it has many sights and beautiful views to see, and I hope this helped you see how fascinating Mount Haoshan is. See if I know about the restaurant.
All right, Bobby, what did you think?
I like the intro. The topic was clear to me in the thesis statement. I think he incorporated those very well. The body and everything that he talked about, I think he had good transitions. It was a good flow with the info and was fun. I actually enjoyed what he was talking about. His transitions through his first through third points I thought were fairly clear. I think the second one I was a little struggling on whether or not he was leading into something, but it became clear once he got into it. I liked his conclusion. The ending seemed, I could tell that he was done there. It seemed like he knew his overall content that he was talking about, so that was, that's always, he was looking at us and interacting with us. The visuals, wow factors. I love that. It really drew me in on those, and I thought that was way cool. Being an ex-rock climber, I thought I could relate to that, so I enjoyed that. Citing, first through third points, he cited stuff through each point. I had good recovery on the failed media. He didn't stress about it, and the quote that he had in there in the citing seemed to be relevant. And I think the one thing I would probably say is, don't let us know what's missing if you're missing a particular picture. Just leave that out, because you were doing great, and I didn't need to be aware of that. No, I don't have a picture of that. If you would have just kept flowing with that, I'd have never known. But you brought it to my attention. Other than that, overall, I thought he did great.
All right. Well, Bobby makes my job easy here because he said most of the things that I was going to say. I think I feel a little bit differently about the transitions. I thought that the preview that you presented, it was very subtle, but I could pick it out that was what the body of the speech was going to be. But as I'm listening to the speech itself, it ends up being more organized around the peaks than it did around the points that you brought up at the beginning of the speech, and that felt a little bit awkward. But it was still clear and easy to follow, and I like that. I agree that all of the material was cited nicely in the speech. The visual images are really spectacular, of course. That picture of the vertical staircases, for instance. Actually, I just thought that was the Coliseum at game day on the way up to my seats, which are always at the top. But no, I know they were pretty good, and I like the way that you introduced the material. I thought that was good. I'll tell you the one thing that felt like it was missing for me in the visuals is some geographical context. I need to know where this mountain is. I know it's in China somewhere, but you know what? That's a big place, and I think just a map reference at the beginning would have been helpful as part of the introduction, for instance. And it didn't have to be long, but it just felt like I could be anywhere in the world looking at these pictures, and I think it needed to be a little bit more familiar. I have a guess as to where I think it must be, but and I'm probably right, but I shouldn't have to guess that. And that was the only thing that was a little bit of a quibble on that. Bobby's right to try not to draw too much attention to something that's missing, and you know it's missing, and it's not in the speech, so why are you telling us that I knew I didn't have it? Here, it's not here. You know, you don't need to make a point of it. But I thought you did a nice job. Look, you are reading sometimes, but you do a good job reading when you're doing it. And I thought it felt very natural most of the time when you were speaking, so that's the way I think you want to try and go more often. Good deal. Thank you.